sun coming in, but anyway, today I am clearing out this rack here, which had a bunch of spare parts on it for the Type R. And when I say clearing out, really deciding whether I'm going to keep the OEM parts off the car or the spare parts off of various parts cars, etc. that I've had. Trying to make some space, and I want to make this rack the rack of good parts that are going back on the car. Right now I've got a lot of the parts off the car kind of scattered around the floor here, and I really want to get everything organized. The car's out of the garage, so I've got a little bit more space. So I want to make a basically shelf of good parts that are ready to go back on the car, and then clear all this stuff out so I've got more working room. Took the evap control solenoid here and swapped it over, left everything else. Everything else is off the Type R. These part numbers were the same, and as you can tell, the corrosion on this one's higher, so we replaced just the solenoid with the one off of the GSR. I've also taken the Type R ABS pump here off. You can see this one's a little bit cleaner, just a little bit less corrosion, and the bracket's cleaner. Not sure if this ABS pump was bad, but this one's definitely good. Same part numbers, so we're going to run the known good one. OEM clutch here. Obviously have a brand new clutch and disc, or pressure plate and disc, so don't need this, but might hang on to that for different purpose in life. Really tell the spring here, you can tell the flex and play. This spring was highly compromised, so one of them's like completely worn down on one side. So like this. Here's the two crank bolts. This one's off the Type R. Obviously, this one is a used one off a different motor, so obviously we'll be running this one. So neither one of my spare crank pulleys are right. The air conditioner belt, the center belt that runs the air conditioner is larger on both of them than the Type R. Obviously the Type R is very rusty. So we're going to take a look at seeing what we can do to clean this one up. We'll throw it in the parts washer and then in Evap-O-Rust, or maybe sand it down and see what we can come up with. This is the spare water container, and this is the one out of the Type R, and obviously I'm going to run the one out of the Type R because it doesn't have all the overspray and paint on it. And so things that weren't necessarily rusted or were in areas of protection, I'm keeping all the original parts as possible. So unfortunately the brackets were slightly different on the fuel filter. You can see this one has a bracket up here. You can see that, versus Type R actually has one for almost like a vacuum line or brake booster hose. So won't be able to use the cleaner one, so we'll clean up the Type R one. So this is the heater core valve that opens and closes the heater core. And I don't know how much you can see there difference wise, but pretty large difference in quality. So I'll take the better bracket, and since the little arm is also rusted, I'll use the GSR arm, and then take the hoses off the Type R. So I had laid out all the new parts I'd ordered on the dining room table, along with powder coat parts over there. I'd put just written down interior engine trans, I think rear of the car, front of the car, something like that. And I don't know what happened to the audio, so I'm just kind of voiceover in this. But anyway, I took all the different parts off of the car, so they got Ziploc bagged and labeled. In this, I took probably close to 16 hours, opened every Ziploc bag. I actually made a new Ziploc bag because my Ziploc bags had so much rust from the rusted bolts and stuff. And effectively, threw away the old bolts. They actually didn't get thrown away. They got thrown in that box to the left of me right there. But anyway, basically, open the Ziploc bag, put the new parts in there, fresh bolts. Some of the times you see the buckets of bolts there. Some of the bolts got parts car bolts. Some of them had the new bolts from Honda. organized all that, and then here in a second you'll see I dropped everything into a toolbox for the long-term organization. And for the time being, before I move my tools out of the other ones, I have decided to put all of the Ziploc baggies with various, all the different parts and bolts and stuff for the Type R in the various drawers. And so I've got it kind of organized now so that hopefully whenever I need a baggie, I can go to a specific drawer here and grab it. So pretty excited about that. I've got a few more things to put in. I've got a couple of things in these drawers, more engine related things in these drawers. I've got my flywheel in there, and that's couple of different oil pan bolts and valve cover bolts, head bolts, etc. And some of the suspension bolts are already set out because I'm putting the suspension back on. And then I've got a pile of parts over there as well. Hey guys, hope you enjoy watching the restoration of the rusty Barnacle, Integra Type R 98111. Please subscribe and keep looking for updates. Thanks.